you don't want like 10 people from a single project on a single call. But I think target it to 2. I think obviously if multiple people are in the same room for connection, I think that's perfectly great. If you can find a way to like splice it in on your connection, have fun. Cool.
What happens if this lawsuit is lost by Ripple and yourselves? What will it mean for the network?
Well, good morning, Julia, and happy April Fool's Day. But as you've already pointed out in your show this morning, topics like these are definitely not a joke. We take this suit very seriously. The good news has been that people like Mary Jo White, the former chair of the SEC, has come out and said that she views this as dead wrong. I think the SEC is wrong on the facts, they're wrong on the law. I think we will prevail. But as you say, there is a chance, of course, that the court system does not go that direction. The good news for Ripple is we've continued to sign customers. We've signed over 20 new financial institutions around the world as customers since the SEC filed their lawsuit. And I think we'll continue to see the network grow very rapidly in non-US customers. The challenge is this drives blockchain innovation and crypto activity outside the US, which I don't think is in the interest of the United States in any way.
Look at our non-payments today versus 2010. Now, then. Now, then. My friends, is this beginning to sink in?
Now, I mean, just take a look at that and let it sink in. I mean, if these non-payment loans that are happening today actually turn into foreclosures, it's gonna dwarf what we saw 2008, 2009, 2010 and beyond. Completely dwarf it. You know the saying, be careful what you wish for when you're looking for inventory, because you might just get it in a ugly, gnarly kind of way.
And by the way, Frank, you remember back in 2008, there was no problem with inventory because 3 out of 4 houses were for sale. Yeah. Short sales or whatever the case may be, but they were for
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode. This is the Zen God, and I'm excited to cover these updates of the future that's coming. We have a lot of cool things to talk about today. I hope you enjoyed the intro videos that I played. Just like Brad Garlinghouse was saying, we are doing fine. All the SEC is just a bunch of noise. What we care about is what's actually happening with the business, and the business is growing. They're signing new customers. The ecosystem is expanding while the retail investors continuously overlook that and whatever. We won't pay attention on that. So we have a few key topics I'm going to bring to this episode, a brand new coin. We talked about it a little bit, but I'm going to actually go deep on the research. We talked about it with Moab. So the Energy Web token. We're going to give some updates on XDC, amazing updates for XDC. And yeah, we're just going to kind of talk about the future of this channel, ways to think, some updates going on in my life. So yeah, I did request that I have been making episodes for about a month and a half, 2 months now. So I have put out a lot of content, about 3 to 5 videos a week. So if I could get some more ideas from you on what you want to see from me, if you want to see more like different content, I'm happy. A lot of people want me to cover my experience of the Las Vegas shooting that happened live. I was downtown when all the events happened, so I could report on that, but kind of just put in the comment section where you want to see this channel go. So the story of this is going to be about energy. We hear this all the time. It's kind of the narrative. We want to reduce the carbon footprint. First, it was all about global warming, and that's not really, like, they can't really scientifically prove that. So now the whole thing is just like climate change, and now the whole thing is green energy, renewable energy. And the thing about Bitcoin is it's terribly inefficient when it comes to energy. So I believe with the adoption amount that we have with Bitcoin now, the miners use about the same amount of electricity as the whole entire country of Argentina. So, and this is the infant stages. So imagine when this grows, that's going to be way too much electricity, way too much demand on our power grid. Now, I have found a way that this Energy Web project that I've been mentioning is actually a solution that could help decarbonize Bitcoin to make it more energy efficient. So that's how far ahead this company is thinking. They're also partners with Ripple. So let me show you. We'll just get right into the good stuff. Energy Web is starting with Ripple in its bid to make crypto green. The crypto industry is, with its questionable carbon footprint, now has a convenient way to showcase its green cred on verified rather than trusted basis. So let me read you this article, because if you go to their ecosystem, you'll see their partners here on their website. Massive. So you'll know some of these names like General Electric. And we also have Shell. You see Shell right here. Some big companies, but I noticed they don't include Ripple here. I think that's for a purpose, because I think if all the XRP holders knew Ripple was affiliated with this, all the XRP army would run and buy up all the Energy Web token fast. This is one of those that they're keeping low key because there's not that many out there. So I found the article where they're talking about their relationship. Move this up. The XRP Ledger Foundation, Ripple, and the Energy Web Foundation have announced the decarbonization of the XRP Ledger. This marks the first ever widespread decarbonization of public blockchain, addressing a significant environmental challenge for blockchain technologies around the world. The pioneering innovation has been achieved using technology from the Energy Web Foundation. So XRP is a starting point. They're leading the way. So while the XRP Ledger is already one of the greenest blockchains in the world, we are taking one step further to be the first blockchain that is fully decarbonized thanks to our partnership with Energy Web Foundation. So there's their announcement right there that they are partnered with Energy Web. We're so proud to be partnered with Energy Web on an initiative with such a positive upside for climate action and clean energy, not just as co-developer of technological solution, but also as one of the first adopters by Garlinghouse. So they're super excited about this. Another reason why I'm bullish is it's right in my neck of the woods. So Nevada Energy has partnered with Energy Web. These are real companies partnering with this company because they're offering a real world solution for this new age that we're entering. So let me read you this. Okay, so on Pilot, explore on how blockchain-based solution can support life cycle of Nevada's portfolio energy credits, including rooftop solar asset registration, plus PEC sales transfer retirement. So another reason I'm actually kind of by association involved with the whole solar field. A lot of my family members recently transitioned into selling solar. So, and they're telling me how hot of a market is. Everybody wants solar on their house. They save money on their electricity bills, and it's the big buzzword. I heard from someone that California might make it a requirement to have solar energy on your house. So what I believe what they're going to do with the Energy Web, besides a list of other things, so let's say I have a backyard. I set up a solar panel in my backyard. It generates electricity. That generates power. That power will be tokenized on the Energy Web, and then let's say after a year, I have 10,000 Energy Web tokens from all the power I generated. And then I could choose what I want to do. Do I want to spend this? Do I want to allocate it to something? So it's like giving you the power over your own energy, giving the energy grid back to the people in a way. But the only thing is, this is a very rare coin. There's only about 100 million. So let's look up the metrics. So a lot of the times on this show, hold on, we're finding coins that are like we found XDC when it was below a penny, still 0 cents. 0, 7, we found it. So not necessarily does that always mean that we're looking for percentage gains. EWT. So sometimes you'll find a project like this, Energy Web, that's $16 right now, but it's ranked 131st on the market cap, and there's only 30 million coins in circulation. So one, it's a rare coin. Two, it's very low on the market cap. It's not even the top 100. This is going to be a top 100 coin. That means the value of this will raise as it raises up the market cap. This is going to be like $100 to $1,000 coin in the future, I believe. Especially when all the climate agenda stuff, if that stuff happens, then this is going to be huge, huge. And I like that idea. So if that gives people an opportunity, and like I think in the future, like cars will probably generate solar energy too. So you could create passive interest and create wealth off your own solar with Energy Web. And it's also going to help all these companies become more carbon efficient. I'm still new to it, so I don't know everything. I just kind of gave you a quick rundown of my very not that great insight. I've done a lot more homework on XRP, but as soon as I find out about an opportunity, I'm bringing it to YouTube. Sometimes before I even have done I just know from the few things I've seen, boom, this is a good one. I mean, Nevada Energy, come on. You could purchase this on Kraken. You could purchase this on Qcoin. So that's a pretty cool one. And that could be a way, like they're kind of, that could be kind of like how they're screwing people over in a way. It's kind of like, oh, Bitcoin. Yeah, that's going to be, Energy Web's going to be huge. They're building the whole narrative for it to succeed. Okay, so another topic we have to talk about is XDC. XRP, XDC are financial coins. Solar is cool and all, but let's be real. Is solar compared to global trade finance, like on a market cap? No. We're talking about trillions and trillions of dollars. R3 is hyping it up. For those who are smart and can connect the dots, they're going to be able to benefit from this opportunity. R3 has brought together over 140 regulators, central banks, commercial banks, exchanges, technology, plus payments companies to focus on the technology policy impact of the central bank digital currencies. R3, one simple click. What digital asset will R3 use? XDC, R3, this is on NASDAQ.com, official as you could get. R3 Corda. Look, this is how much they're trying to snake the system. They're trying to snake you guys. They put out all in the mainstream media about it being Ethereum based, but XDC actually has left the Ethereum blockchain. It's not an ERC20 token anymore. But R3 has chosen XDC as the partner. And ever since we've seen that yesterday, we've seen the price go up. It's about 4.5 cents. So we're doing great. So this is how they screw you. This is why you don't listen to what people say. You watch what they do. So at the very bottom of the market, Goldman Sachs is saying most cryptocurrencies will crash to zero. They're telling people to stay away. Now when we're up here, Goldman Sachs changed their mind and they're offering all their clients Bitcoin. Why didn't they offer it down here? Do you think the people of Goldman Sachs were smart enough to know that Bitcoin would go back up? You think they were buying back here? I think so. So there's news for the classes, and then there's news for the masses. the wealth class gets different news than the masses. No one's going to tell you about Energy Web token. You're going to be able to see them planting the narratives in the media, talking about green energy, Bitcoin is super energy efficient. So they're going to have to use Energy Web and decarbonize it just to play ball in this new regulatory crypto new realm that's coming once clarity hits. We're in the Wild West right now. Tether's still doing their shams, like everyone's still doing their shams. Once the hammer comes and this becomes a real space, it's going to be different. Another thing is, so a lot of people will be like, oh, I like XRP, I like XDC. XDC and XRP are not really competing, so stop the tribalism. It's stupid. Just because they're both have an X in it doesn't mean they're competing. Yeah, so mainly I just really wanted to bring this info about Energy Web token because that's what I've been researching all day today. It's brand new to me. I started researching it when Moab came on, and I've been watching a few videos and confirmation after confirmation. I'm going to keep doing more research on it, but I really like the project. I really like the project. It's going to be big. So especially in like Europe, we know they're really into this whole green energy stuff. So I wanted to show you guys a few mindset things. We haven't done a mindset episode in a while as well. So I talk a lot about NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. So beliefs, we all have beliefs. How did you decide to have the beliefs that you have? Well, we know with psychologists that our imprint years from the age 0 to 7. So from the age of 0 to 7, we're like sponges. Our subconscious mind, which is like our operating system, is absorbing everything from our environment. And if you're listening to TV or things that your family member says, maybe they say, nobody in this family has ever made more than $100,000 a year. That's just a fact. And they say it over the time. No one's made six figures in this family. And then you're a baby and you just say that unconsciously you make that your belief. And this happens with everything, like with trading. Like, oh, I could never. Same thing with like when someone says, oh, you're not musical. How could you tell someone you're not musical? It just takes hard work and practice. Anyone can become musical. But like the person saying that, oh, you're not musical, you grab onto that and then you turn that into your map of the world. I am not musical. You say it about 10 times. Becomes a belief. A lot about what neuro-linguistic programming is about changing those beliefs. And just like XRP and just like everything in life, with these advanced, because it's using basically language to interface with your nervous system and your unconscious mind to change things. Now, when you're changing things, you got to be very careful because as soon as the dark side of the world found out about NLP, they immediately used it for bad things. You guys ever heard about the MK Ultra project? A lot of people want to talk crap about conspiracy theorists. They don't know you can go to prison for committing conspiracy. You're proving how dumb you are with your statement. Conspiracy to commit a crime? That's a fucking legal term. You go to jail for that. All of us were talking about this back in 2001. We didn't know exactly how we would get to this point that we are now, walking around with masks, not being able to leave the country. We didn't know it would get to this point. Like, we didn't know this is how it would get there, but we knew it was coming. We knew everything we knew all this stuff. We were talking about it way back then. And now people are still in denial. So it's the NWO, I found this the other day, versus the OWN. It's real, dude. Like, you could see the global takeover. We talked about globalism. We've talked about that for 20 years now. The people are still in denial with their head in the sand. But our world, why did I even start talking about this? I'm supposed to tell you about NLP. So our world now is the new term. So it takes people like us. We have to be smart, but we're creating our world now. The people are creating our world now. Let's end these old fucks. We're beating them at their game. They want to keep Energy Web token to themselves. They want to keep XRP to themselves. They don't want us to know about it. So we're flipping it on them. The more warriors like us that stay away from dooming, because dooming is not going to get you anything. Actually, being a doomer is against the law of physics. The physics is for every action, for every force, there is an opposite force just as great. So I don't know the exact quote, but like for every positive, there's a negative force. So for you to believe that there's only bad in the world, because I've seen some people go off the deep end lately and lose hope and give up and go into almost like a depression. I can see it in their face. For those people, you have to know you're going against physics. You're going against physics. For every negative, if there's a really dark force out there trying to take over this planet, then there has to be the same positive energy, the opposite, that's fighting against it. That's just physics. So I wanted to talk about that because I've been having a lot of conversations with people and consulting with people, keeping their spirits alive, because we don't need anyone else other than us, the people. We have the information, we know, and it's just us now. Like, stay positive. I'm so happy every single day to be alive. But let's watch this.
Now, unfortunately for them, I'm a polarity responder. I'm like that guy that objects. My response to when people tell me things are impossible is to just fucking go and do them. Because I've never had experiences that contradict that. When people tell me that you can't do something, it makes me want to. I've written over 30 albums of music. I can play almost any instrument. And I can listen to things and play them. When I grew up in San Francisco in the 60s, I was in a band. Everybody played a instrument. I used to play all of them. I'd switch around. I could play organ at the time. I used to have an organ the size of the stage and lug it around with me. It wasn't the good days like now. If I'd have had one of those in those days, boy, I'd probably still be a musician. Part of what I hated about playing music was moving everything. You know, when you get famous, you have roadies, but before you get famous, if you're a flute player, it's okay. You know, but when you play an organ and you have a Hammond B3 and two 6-foot Leslies, you know, at the end of the night, it's no fun. The other thing is that I really didn't like the environment. I mean, to me, it wasn't really conducive to being creative. I liked playing music, but I didn't really like going out and playing music. I liked sitting alone and playing music. But when they told me that it was impossible to do something, it made me want to. But yet, with a lot of people, it doesn't work. Many of you think that you are not artistic. Many of you believe you are not musical. And the truth is, that's not a genetic phenomenon. It's not like you have music genes and art genes. Probably what you had is second-grade teachers that had you draw an apple and looked you in the eye and said, "You'll never be artistic." And these kinds of suggestions last. There are people that come in who do very complex tasks. I had a guy that was referred to me by the military. He had been in the Army for 3 years, and after he left the Army, he had gone in at 17, so he was only 20 years old. And when the Army discharged him, he was tested by the psychologist as being learning disabled. He still couldn't read. Now, here's a 20-year-old person who worked in the motor pool, who could take apart engines and put them back together blindfolded. He actually drew for me the inside of a machine gun, you know, and told me how every piece of it worked, and he knew the names of every.
I don't know the exact clip I wanted to show you in there. That's just a gist, but I talk about it a lot. So if you guys want to look up who the founder of it is, Richard Bandler, This is the guy who taught Tony Robbins basically everything Tony Robbins knows, and he's worked with like presidents. He's a top guy, and he even has books that are so classified that you can only purchase them in Russia because its information is that classified. I'm pretty sure he worked on the MK Ultra project. This guy's like a crazy genius, sociopath. He doesn't really have much of empathy. So lucky for the school that I'm a part of, we're more on the transform the planet side of things. And we use it only to help raise the consciousness, help save people, because that's the main thing, the mindset of an NLP practitioner. He said it right there. When he entered the coaching world, everyone always has these things. Oh, that can't be fixed. It's impossible to cure this. It's impossible to help this person. It's impossible to solve this problem. And he was just like, no, it's not. Like, it drove him. And through NLP, Richard Bandler has done miracles for many people with PTSD, with people with the craziest things ever. He's cured. He'll go into schizophrenia, like a schizophrenic hospital, and within like 5 minutes, someone who hasn't talked in 20 years would talk because he's just like that good. But yeah, NLP is an amazing tool set. It's basically whatever you've purchased in your life, right? Let's say you purchased a watch. It comes with an instruction set. If you want to know how to use it, pull up the manual, you go through it. You could learn how to use the watch. The problem is, when we were born into this world, no one's ever given us the manual to our operating system, our subconscious mind, or our mind. And that's really where a lot of people have problems. Everybody can be 100% excellent at everything they choose to, as long as they have the operating system. We could take people who are dyslexic. I've seen it many times. I've done it myself. People who are dyslexic, they have such trouble reading and writing. You teach them how to follow, because think about this. In school, they tell you to spell things, use phonics to spell. The irony of phonics is phonics, you can't even spell phonics phonetically. So the whole way they teach people is bullshit. And Richard Bandler talks about how fucked up the school system and how fucked up how human beings actually learn. And that's what this is all about, is how you could actually train your subconscious mind to rapidly learn and model basically excellence. And it's really changed my life and many other people. And the top 1% of the planet studies it. The news, the television people, the people that write the scripts for the news. Anchoring is a term in NLP. That's why you have news anchors. And they're embedding hypnotic commands and hypnotic suggestions. In 2008, the reason why everyone was so hypnotized by Barack Obama, he used a principle in NLP called the Milton model, where you hypnotically induct an entire audience into a trance, and then he has these like command words, like at the end of a few hypnotic suggestions, he'll go, and that's why you're going to go vote for me, when people are hypnotized. Well documented, you could find that a lot. He had a professional neuro-linguistic programmer write his speeches. So I'm a firm believer, once I found that out, just like with food, I want to know it so I can protect myself from getting those suggestions into my unconscious mind. And it's also helped me break a lot of my money programming. Like I said, guys, if any of you have money issues now, you're learning from someone that's walked the walk. I've been through poverty. I've been through basically nothing. And yeah, I'm really in the field. I want to show you guys something cool. And I'm going to play you a video right after this. This video went on way longer than I was expecting. But yeah, this is my buddy. I want to show you guys I'm doing real things in life. So that's why I'm busy. And this is Nick. This guy speaks all over the world. This is my buddy now. He's on the same mission as me. He speaks at Tony Robbins events, Dean's, like every big Grant Cardone, every big name person you know, he spoke on. And meeting him was really inspirational for me, because I have a lot of complaints sometimes, and I have bad days too. But seeing what Nick has overcame and what he's doing, and how he's so driven to help other people and give back and share like a positivity in this world, is really made me like, man, am I doing enough? I need to do more. Like those are the people you need to be around. Like people that like, wow, this guy's achieving a lot. Like he motivated me to step my game up to the next level. So I'm gonna play a video from Nick about mindset, having the winner's mindset. He spoke exactly the words in my mouth right here about just doing one thing at a time and taking small steps and succeeding. So I'm gonna play that video for you guys real quick. But yeah, please, like I said, I've been making videos for a long time now. Maybe I could do a workshop on NLP, teach you some language stuff. But I want to know what direction do you want to see this channel go? Do you want to see it continue to be strictly crypto? If I have a gauge from all of you, I could help make this channel better for the audience that actually cares. I don't care about having thousands of subscribers. I don't care about having that. I just want to have a core community of like-minded people that actually like this type of stuff. Anyways, yeah, it went way longer than I was expecting tonight, but I hope all of you are amazing. I'm very hopeful for the future. And if you are having one of those doomer days, then message me, because it seems like I've been the doomer consultant lately. But all right, guys, peace.
Kind of being like a bum. And so I always tell people it's a good thing I have one finger, the one finger technique. And that is doing one thing today that you know is going to evolve you into a better human being. And that could be a big thing, but it could be a small thing too. Like knowledge, like it could be, I read 10 pages of a book today and I evolved. You know, I learned a little bit more than I did today, or I asked that question, I learned something. Like people need to start small, whatever area you're at in your life, but just start small. So I would tell people to set these little micro goals, and just commit. And then like every time you commit and you don't follow through, you're diminishing yourself, like your self-integrity, the value. Like how do you value yourself? Like how do you want to show up? Like do you want to, like if I told you I was going to show up here and I didn't show up here, like that's terrible. Like I just diminished not only my self-integrity with myself, but with you as well, my word. And so like if we're viewing ourselves as the most important thing, we're like our body, our temple, like don't diminish your self-value. If you say you're going to commit to something, follow through, and I promise you, you're going to feel so much better on the other side because you followed through. And you're like, wow, I actually did what I said I was going to do. Like, oh my God, it's amazing. You know, Nelson Mandela has this quote, in life I don't lose, I only win or learn. Like if people can realize, like so many people think like they've lost, but like if you just pull one piece of information that's good, whether it's a different perspective, extracting knowledge, a different way to go about life, a different way to not fall on your face, like that's winning. Like I just want people to continuously be the victors of their life and realize that life is all about perspective. The lens we look through, you know, like you can have that victim, you can look at things and be the victim, or you can look at things and see all the positive in the world. And the fact that we're literally spinning on a rock in the universe, well, we call it the universe, we don't really know what it is, but we're literally spinning on a rock right now, and we have the ability to be conscious and experience the human experience, which is wild. And so that's how I want to shift people's perspective, is realizing like, man, this guy's got no legs and one arm, but he's doing all these amazing things, and letting people know like you have everything inside of you to do whatever you need, but you need to get this right, your operating system, your computer system, through the simulation that we live in, whatever it may be.